So we met, almost 8 years ago in Austin.
You moved in with my brother.
Oh yeah, no, we don't say it that way.
Yeah,
'cause it
that's
sounds super
right.
awkward.
We don't say it that way.
Don't say it that way.
Yeah. You moved in with my brother and his family.
Yes, I did. I moved
His
in with them.
wife and children.
When I started working, in Austin.
Uh-huh.
I met you. You moved, I think, 3 months, maybe 3 months after I'd lived there. I just remember Pete and Emily talking about you were coming to Austin, and then you showed up, and you were you.
Yeah. I was out in the yard.
Oh, okay.
That hottie.
Tell the story.
Out there, I was out there, doing yard work. Peter told me that you'd been living there, and all of a sudden, I turn around and there you are, standing there with watermelon. What we wound up knowing each other, hanging out with the same people. Joined the small group within just a very short amount of time. Wound up getting diagnosed with cancer.
What kind of cancer is it, babe?
Synovial sarcoma, joint cancer, pretty rare stuff. Wound up seeing that it had spread to my lungs as well. I had to make a pretty quick decision on getting the arm amputated, and wound up doing chemo for 4, 5, 6 months, however long it was. During that time, the small group, the church, our entire community just rallied and got behind it and provided, did a lot of stuff for me, you included. Finished doing chemo. James and Angela came through and was looking for babysitters.
Yeah, so this was like, I think a few months after you had finished chemo, scans came back clear, and then we were in their group, and they were looking for people to babysit for them. And I remember you, there was like 3 girls or 4 girls that all replied and were like, we'll do it, and then you. I was like, okay. And then all of their girls dropped out, so it was just me and you.
Wound up wrangling the kids. James and Angela wound up coming back, went outside, and
we had been talking about a movie that we both liked, and you asked me if I wanted to go see this movie. And I was like, okay. And I couldn't figure out if it was a date, and then like midweek you were like, do you want to like get some food before that movie? And I was like, food plus movie, date. This has to be a date. This is it.
Yeah. Wound up dating for a while. Things got serious pretty quick. I think we both knew that we were going to get married, that we loved each other, that we wanted to marry each other. You walked through the entire process of me getting my prosthetic, which probably made me fall even more in love with you, just going through that like very difficult, emotional time of getting all that stuff done, and you seeing me, just a very, very opened up, very,
But you don't really wear your prosthetic that much.
Nope. No. I'm a real boy. But yeah, so things move quickly.
Yes, they did.
We probably put the cart before the horse on a lot of different things. Both knew that we loved each other, but also it became very clear through community, through different things, that we needed to take a break and
work on some stuff.
Work on separately, not together.
Yeah, moving back to Seattle was hard. I was real heartbroken over us, and wasn't really sure what. I knew that God had told us to like take a break, but wasn't really sure what that fully entailed, and was still kind of hoping that something would come. But then we didn't see each other. We saw each other that first year. We saw each other once in California at Jess and Chris's wedding. And outside of that, we didn't talk for 3 years. Like, we didn't have any time we were knowing what was going on in each other's lives at all.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And during that same wedding, is whenever I broke my prosthetic.
Dancing on the dance floor.
Out on that dance floor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My family, from the time that they've known you, they love you, not even just for me. They love you in general. And
I love them too.
Yeah. I know. Vice versa. I think they love you more than they love me at times.
Probably.
That's probably
makes
true.
sense.
Yeah. So, Pete, would just always be like, you need to reach out to Katelynn, talk to Katelynn, and it was very clear. Like it wasn't supposed to happen. Like I knew it. Wouldn't even entertain it. Pete was flying out overseas, taking off, and we went and had dinner the night before his flight, and just said one more time, he's like, man, you should talk to Katelynn. And for the very first time, the next morning is whenever I sat down, had my quiet time, and was just like, God, what do you want me to do about Katelynn? Like, should I talk to her? And just for the very first time, felt like something loosened up in my heart about that. And I was like, man, maybe I should. So I sent you a text message and said, hey, is this Katelynn? Is this still your phone number? If it is, this is Abe, and I'd like to talk to you.
Around my birthday in July, I remember I was just kind of in a season where I started to think like, okay, I really want to try to pursue dating again in this season. In the midst of that, I started reading this book about marriage. And I mean, you and I hadn't talked in 3 years, and I was for sure like, Abe lives in Texas. Like, we're not, like, I was like preparing myself for like, I don't know, Match.com. Like, I was not preparing myself for anything specific, but I remember. I
was on a few of those.
Oh, different story, another day. And so I think like I started reading this book though, called The Meaning of Marriage, and I was going through the chapters, and I just remember thinking I would get to like this point in the chapter, and I'd be like, man, I really wish I could have that conversation with Abe. And it was just kind of weird. Like the first time it happened, I was like, okay, little old memories coming up. And then it felt like I couldn't progress through the book without feeling like I wanted to talk to you about it. Fast forward a little bit, I'm on this flight to Tallahassee for my best friend's weddings. And I'm reading the book, and I'm having the same thoughts. I keep thinking like, I'd read a section and be like, I really want to talk to Abe about that. But just had this gut feeling like I was supposed to talk to you about it. I remember praying, and I was just like, God, this is weird. Like, I don't know if you're trying to cause like some closure for me or what, but I'm trying to start dating again. Like, I don't know what you want to do with this whole thing that keeps coming up. But just to ask God, like, to give me clarity on why I kept feeling I was supposed to talk to you. And so, put the book away. I landed, got off the plane, I'm walking to baggage claim, and I took my phone off airplane mode, and there was a text from you saying, hey Katelynn, is this still your number? This is Abe, I'd love to talk. And I remember just like cracking up. I remember awkwardly laughing out loud to myself in the middle of this airport by myself. Because I was just like, this is the most bizarre thing, one of the most bizarre things I've ever had God do. In just a moment of asking for clarity, and he's like, I'm gonna send you a text message. I think from that point we started to think about, okay, if we pursue this again, what will that look like? And one of the most important things for me this time as we were starting over was for you to get to know my family, just because when we had been in Texas, never met any of my family. And so you asked me, I think we were like a week into talking again, and you're like, what do you think if I fly up for Labor Day weekend? And I was like, that's in 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. And I was like, well, I mean, I guess, like you can fly up and spend time with my family, and we'll see how this goes. And that was a pretty good weekend though.
It's a great weekend. Then things got serious again?
They did, but I think we were in a season this time where we knew that we were ready for serious.
Mm-hmm.
So then you surprised me.
Did the surprise engagement?
Yep, that was really sweet.
Like a baller.
Involved my friends, my boss, and tried to get everybody to figure out where I was at a certain time.
The whole town. It almost took the whole town. It started with getting one person involved. I was like, I think I can pull this off with one person.
Turned into like 13.
Then it turned into like, yeah, about to hire the FBI to track you just to make sure that I can get this done. Get married in how long?
I mean, it's as of today, we're like exactly 5 weeks away.
What?
I know. Hey, we got a lot to do.
Got a lot to do. Got a lot to do.
Yes. But I think I mean, one of the things that's been really cool about our story, I know for me, it's just continued to increase my faith in like how good God is and his timing, and just, I mean, there were so many seasons, I know for both of us, that it was really hard to trust that, like, moving forward with us waiting and putting things on hold and then potentially permanently on hold, like it was really hard.
Yeah. 3 years of honestly not trusting God and making a lot of decisions that were based solely on selfishness and wondering why God wouldn't show up and do stuff. And I think that's probably the biggest thing for me, is just looking back and doubting his faithfulness. And then here he comes again and is faithful as usual.
One of the things that I think for me has been a big part of knowing early on that I wanted to marry you was, actually, it was when I was reading that book, I was like, this is exactly it. But there's a part of that book that talks about how marriage is this process of walking alongside someone and having like a front row seat to see the ways that God is continually making them incredible. Like, they're getting better and better each and every day. And just like what a privilege it is, and to get to like watch that happen and just say like, I'm so excited about what God's doing in you. Like, I can't wait to see where he's going to take you and to get to be in that with you. And I think for you, that's been a big part of it, because even when we were friends before we were dating, like I saw God transform your life in a lot of ways. Even like right when you were showing up in Austin, and then to watch him continue to change you and grow you and make you incredible, more incredible. But I'm excited for the person that I get to continue watching you become.
Thank you.
That doesn't make you cry.
Yeah. I love you.
Love you too.